Welcome to my No Man's Sky Permadeath series, and I'm going to start with a bit of apologies, guys. This video is liable to be a bit shorter than normal, and it's a very strong possibility it is going to go up late. The reason for that is that I've actually got to go away as part of my job for a couple of days, so I'm trying to squeeze this recording and rendering in before I actually leave. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this, so if this goes up a day late or something like that, apologies for that, guys. And also this recording may be a little bit chaotic for reasons I will explain in a minute. And the first thing I want to do is say a big thank you for all your comments and feedback, especially Phil Silvers and Snafu. I was very intrigued by your discussion about my gameplay, and I think you're actually right. Anyway, let's just get this mission. I'll talk a bit more about what I revealed about that. So we're just going to browse the missions, because one of the things Phil Silver said is I completely missed this mission when I was looking at it, the fusion accelerant. So that's the mission I'm actually going to do, just to show that I do take things on board even if I do it late. Yeah, so your comments were very interesting, and I actually did sit down and have a little bit of think, guys, and in the end I thought, well, what has changed is probably the question I was asking. So I actually went back and I actually watched some of my old videos from series I did before the Atlas Rises update, and I even went back and watched some of my first No Man's Sky videos not long after the game came out, nearly 2 years ago, and I noticed something, and the fact that I actually play the game differently now from when I was back when those first series come out, and it's got nothing to do with the game itself. It's quite fascinating. I better do a roll so we're the right way up. And so what I actually did is I actually recorded some of my off-camera gameplay. And I think the difference is, and I mean, I appreciate your feedback, guys, is that when I record a video to release on the channel, I sit down and think about what I want to do in that video, what I want to say, and I even make notes about what I wanted to do to try and make the video interesting. And that's completely different from the way I actually recorded things in the past. In the past, I just recorded me playing the game, and I think that's what's creeped in, because when I'm actually recording a planned video, it gives me a little bit of target fixation. Now that's not an excuse for all the things I do miss, because looking at my other gameplay, I still do miss things, I think, because I do get a little bit fixated on what I'm actually doing at the time. But I think that's actually exacerbated when I'm actually recording a pre-planned video. Like if I decided I'm going to do a certain type of mission in that video to illustrate a mission, when I'm looking at that list of missions, like I probably did, I wasn't planning on doing a missing persons mission, so I didn't even look at it, and I think that's partly the cause of the problem. So I'm just gonna come in here. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to try and do is have a bit more relaxed style in recording videos, try and get back into the roots, because while I was actually thinking about it, it reminded me of something that Quill 18 said. I was watching one of his live streams of quite some time ago, and he was actually saying that, right, we better let's do this. He should give us a location. Gesture, what do you want to be bribed with? Oh, if I can afford 30 Maribol, thank you. So yeah, navigational suit. So, target to last known location. Yeah, and what Quill 18 actually said in that live stream, and when at the time when he said it, it didn't really sink in. And what he said was that since his channel had become so big, that he no longer had time to play games for his own enjoyment. That every games now were part of what he did for a living. And as I say, at the time it didn't really sink in, but I'm actually starting to understand a little bit about that now, and I want to avoid that, guys, because as I've said in the past, I only record the games that I enjoy playing, and I do this for fun. I mean, never got any intention to get as big as, well, not even remotely close to someone like Quill 18, because this is, well, I can probably say my hobby is probably the polite way of saying it, although my wife would probably say it's my obsession. I think we could probably sell off here. I've actually manufactured a fusion igniter off camera. Let's see if we can get that. I think that can go to the freighter. I've been collecting get nips because I want to extend my base to put a nip farm in just for the fun of it. So I think maybe we're just hang on. Actually, I'll just send that to the ship, and I think we'll just sell off a few things. Yeah, so I'm going to try and be a bit more relaxed now about in my gameplay. I'm not going to try and over manage the actual videos from anymore. I think so. Let's just get in here. As I say, I'm still going to miss things, guys, so feel free to criticize me. Oh, that reminds me, I do need to go and put down a atmospheric miner. Got a Gek charm. I suppose we could sell the Gek charm. Fusion igniter minus 12%. I don't particularly want to do that. I think we can sell off the cheapo stuff that's clogging the inventory up. Okay. So, sell off that stuff. I don't think I actually need to buy anything at the moment. I'd say the only resource I'm really low at the moment, as far as I remember correctly, is Maribol. I've got 300. That should be enough to put out an atmospheric miner. So I think we're generally okay. Yeah, so it's quite interesting from that perspective, actually. And big thank you guys, actually, for making me think about that. That I'm starting to fall into that trap, because it's not somewhere I want to go. You know, I don't want to get into the realm of making release videos and, how can you say, kind of speculation trailers, which is another subject I might talk about. Actually, yeah, we can talk about new releases and new updates. It's not somewhere I want to go with the channel. That's the reason why it's very. Oh, that's what we got here. It's very rare for me to make a video about a new game based on a trailer. I think there's enough of the bigger channels that do it. It's not something I want to do. Plus, the fact is that I can't really understand. Well, I understand it and I enjoy watching it, but it's not something I want to do anyway. I think we're just going to land here. I think we're just going to check this place out, actually, which I've just said so, because it is a trading station. Right, let's see if we can get here. Nothing found, thank you. What we got here? We got some more bouncing cushions. Oh, get you. Some resources here. You never know, we might actually find a multi-tool. Yeah, so what we're going to do is just check out this station and to see what's going on. Okay, hello. Just grab plutonium. Right, let's have a quick chat with this guy. Got to remember that I don't really want anything to do with ask directions, because that might cancel the mission marker. I don't want that. As with many of your kind, the Korvax projects light from around their visor. It looks more closely to see if not just random patterns. They've created a tiny perfect hologram of a local star system. Okay. Last attempt to scan. Korvax quickly shuts down the hologram. My unapproved scanning appears to have offended them. Thank you. Oh well. Story of my life. Wow. I don't think this is going to be anything even worth worrying about. That was class tool, and as we can just have a quick dash in here behind the door. Oh, we got a not buy it because we maximum. And again, I think Phil Silver's passed a comment about being able to, when you got these, I think I talked about being able to expand your ship, and then he mentioned something about expanding my freighter, and I think that would be fantastic if Hello Games let us do that in the next update. And I suppose I do need to talk a little bit about the elephant in the room and the hype train that's now running and seems to be expanding to Waking Titan. And I'm starting to think maybe it's the funny season, actually. But I'll expand a bit more on that statement in a minute. I think we can just nip over here and check out these buildings. Yeah, the hype train is certainly seems to be coming off the rails now. I think a lot of guys are setting themselves up quite badly for disappointment, is probably the polite way of saying it. I think people are reading in far too much into the releases, trailers and discussions and hints. What is it? Do I want a... No, I don't think I'm going to bother with the... Because I think I've already got a ruin marked on here, so this is just going to send me back to the same route. Yeah, as I say, the hype train is, well, definitely left the station, especially is probably the better way of saying it. And I actually watched a video, and it seems now to have spread to Waking Titan, that somebody was actually made a video on the future of Waking Titan, and will it survive past the next update for No Man's Sky. And I kind of think, well, why are these people speculating that? You know, it just seems completely crazy. And again, it comes back to, I mean, I don't make specific videos for that. Yes, I do talk a bit about them, like now, because, well, it's the elephant in the room with current situation. But at the same time, is I'm not sure if I've got the inclination to read all that detail into a release trailer or something like that produced by a company. I greatly admire the guys who do it, but it's certainly not really for me, to be honest. And this is a transmission tower. Let's have a quick look at the transmission tower. So this is double subtract 1, and that's 18. That'd be 257. If this cancels my mission, I'll be a little bit annoyed. No, this is there. So we've actually got a distress signal over there. Okay. We got a crash ship over there, about 3 minutes away. So we can go and check out the crash ship. Yeah, so this speculation is crazy, and this. Oh well, seeing we're going to go and check out the crash ship, I'll just talk a bit about the other speculation, because of course, was it last week? Paradox announced Imperator Rome, a game that I am going to look forward to, but I'm not going to speculate what it's going to be about. It sounds a little bit like it's going to be a cross between Crusader Kings 2 and European Universalis 4. What I will do, guys, is I'll put my hand up when that comes out. I will be buying it and I will be playing it. What I probably will say is I'm not sure if it will be ever on the channel. The reason being is that, how can you say, is I think presenting long series for Paradox games provides a real challenge. And it's akin to No Man's Sky in the sense that they are very long series, but I'm not sure whether it works. I mean, I'll be very interested in your feedback if you are Paradox fans. And well, while I'm actually flying to I'll give you a bit of my history with Paradox games. When EU4 came out, I actually bought the game, and I won't go so far as to say I didn't like it. It didn't fit in with my frame of mind at the time, so I played it for a little while and I lost interest. And what I actually did was I actually gave the game to a friend of mine. Well, that's 18 slots, so I don't even have the game anymore. And of course, I haven't played all the various DLCs that are released, because if any of you guys are familiar with Paradox games, they have these long life cycles where you get loads and loads of DLCs. I think now to get EU4 costs about £200. So judging by destruction, yeah, I think we're just going to search the wreckage. Yeah, so to basically get the most up-to-date version of EU4 would cost about £200, and I'm not sure if I'd want to pay that amount actually. Now what I did then, guys, is I went on to CK2, and I did play a lot of CK2 up until about 2 years ago. It's the fact that I think if any of you guys have ever done this, you play a game so much you burn out on it. Thank you. So, oops, we're out of things, so we need to top up the launch thrusters. Yeah, we've got plenty there, so I think we can now push off to there. Yeah, so again, if I wanted to put CK2 up on the channel, which is very, very unlikely, I would have to go out and buy all the DLCs and then learn how to play it again. Or maybe there's scope there for maybe a getting started tutorial type video for CK2. And this is the gift that the release of Imperator Rome, which will probably be in the beginning of 2019, is the fact is because Paradox release these games very infrequently, being able to get in on the ground floor of a game when it first comes out is quite a rare event, and I do want to take advantage of that. But as I said, I'm not sure. Whoops. Oh, it's another trading station. Wow. I'm not sure I'm actually going to do it on the channel, but again, if you guys got any opinions on it, feel free to add a comment, discuss it. I mean, are you guys Paradox fans? Do you play Paradox games? And that, as I say, because I do know they are a little bit of an acquired taste. And then, just to keep this thread of conversation going a little bit longer, what actually happened this week is Bethesda have released a teaser trailer, is probably the correct description for it, for a game which they are calling, oops, this could be interesting, Vault 76, which is a Fallout game. And I must admit, I quite enjoyed watching the teaser trailer because I did play Fallout 4. Now, Fallout 4 is a game I did play. I was very late to it from the perspective of a recording channel. And I did do a short series on my channel a long time ago, I think over a year ago. And it didn't go very well. And I kind of basically dropped it and carried on playing it off camera. Because I think I was so late to the party with showing it. I think by then most people had actually, how can you say, watched all the other larger channels playing it. So, and again, similar to the Paradox games, when oops, we got a door up here. So I say similar to the Paradox games, when Fallout 4. Oh, this is here. Well, that's okay, but of course I can't do anything with it. Yeah, similar to the Paradox games, if Vault 76 comes out, I mean, it probably won't come out to 2019. I will certainly be playing it, and I will consider putting it up on the channel. Again, if any of you guys are Fallout 4 fans, feel free to put a comment, voice an opinion. I mean, would you like to see a Fallout Vault 76 series if and when it gets released? But coming back to the thread of this conversation, I know I'm deviating all over the place, guys. Let me just concentrate a little bit while I'm doing this Corvax. I mean, I could sell that, but that's... Oh, yeah, I think we'll sell the Fusion Exciter and see if anything else we can buy. Nothing there really grabs me. And, oh, thank you. I actually forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the hype train. And this teaser trailer is literally, it's about a minute and a half long, and I'm absolutely blown away by the information that some of these guys are actually extracting from it. Of course, people like Many a True Nerd are really versed in the lore of Fallout, if we can get anything here. So he's picked up on lots and lots of details. I think a lot of other people did, but and based on his experience of playing the game. There's a ship going over here, and it's quite fascinating, guys, how much someone can get from such a short trailer. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop. So I think what I'm going to do, just to wind up this ramble, and it is a ramble, and I apologise for it, guys. It looks like 2019 could be a very, very interesting year for gaming, because Paradox and Bethesda aren't what you could call a frequent releaser of new games, not major new games anyway. They do lots and lots of DLCs and updates and stuff like that, but they don't actually release major games. And to have a major new title from Paradox and Bethesda in the same year, all we need is CA to release Warhammer 3 next year, and it will be a very exciting year. And of course, we don't know what all the other game studios are going to announce in the next few weeks as well. So life could get interesting, and I may have to make some fairly tough decisions on what I actually want to put up on the channel next year. Anyway, we've got a long way to go, but if you guys are No Man's Sky fans, No Man's Sky is going to be here for a long time to come, so don't worry about that, guys. I won't be bouncing No Man's Sky in favour of any of these new games. Anyway, guys, let's get up and cash the mission in, to stop rambling, get down a little bit of a focus on what I want to do here. Oops, I've got that, so I think we'll just cash this mission in, and so we're just going to hand in the mission. Fusion accelerant, I think we'll be okay. I think I've got space in my inventory. Standing 1, is that all I get? 1, thank you. That's not overly generous. Let's see if he's got any new missions. Browse missions. Eliminate Sentinels. There we cock the machine. Don't want to do any of these, because I think what I want to do now is go back to my base, because I want to give you guys a little bit of an update what I've been doing. So I think we'll just grab that Sentinel mission to actually do things. Yeah, I think what we're going to do now is just go back to the base, and I'll give you guys a bit of a tour, show you what I've been doing. It hasn't changed massively, but at the same time I've made some progress with the farming side, and I also want to go through the portal to show you what I've been doing with the atmospheric miners, because I've got the resources to put out another atmospheric miner as well. Here we are, guys, we're back on my base, and I'll just go outside and give you a bit of an overview. Probably easier to do it this way, so we're just going to, and as you can see here, I've really been planting out the gamma root. I've now got enough gamma root here to produce at least 8, I think 9, and I think what I'm going to be doing is continually expanding this until this whole floor is full up with gamma root, and then correspondingly using the next floor up to balance the copyright. I think I'm okay for glass. I've got quite a good hole. I think all this frost crystals along the front here is more than enough for the actual glass production. I blasted a hole here because there was a carbon plant that kept growing, and I actually blasted it and to get rid of it. And as I say, up here I've got the dome full of my ancillary farming here. I've got Mordite and cactus flesh and star bulbs. This is a bit of a temporary arrangement for my advanced manufacturing. I will refine that over time, and of course I've got the hemisphere here with the copyright in. So that's where I've got to, but I think we'll just go in and have a look round as well, just to show you guys what I've been doing in a bit more detail. I'm not going to put any plants down here. What I might do is put some furniture or something down here, and of course we've got the restore shield and health that was being put in. So just to show you guys here what I've been doing, see how much of this gamma root I've been laying in. I think at the last count I've got 68 gamma root in here at the moment. 64 makes me 8 living glass, so I think I might be able to really push through here. Hello, Mr. Sentinel. I always get these Sentinels hanging around in the base. So yeah, I'm really expanding and growing my there. Obviously I've still got some empty slots here I need to fill in. I mean, I could literally, if I just grab some of this gamma root, collect some. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Stop flaring on the, if I grab some of this, do we get 50? I pop. So we're just going to, that should be enough just to fill in this missing doing key. Yeah, we can fill in this here, and as I think that, and what I will probably do is put some nip up on the next floor. So right, I'm just gonna drop this in here, guys. Fill in these. sure if there's any spaces over here. Oh, I've got some spaces over here as well, so I'm just gonna keep expanding the camera. I mean, if I pick too much, it's not a problem anyway, so just gonna pick this up. Maybe more over here. I must admit, I don't kind of come back every half hour. These plants, I'm not that much of farmer from the point of view there. I mean, I've got, I think, well, I'll check in a minute once I've just laid these out. Just going to these in just to show you guys. I mean, I've got nearly 673 million, which I think is, I mean, I'll get there, guys. I'm just not that worried about making lots and lots of cash. And up this floor, I've rearranged this a little bit now, so I've got my selenium crop in the center here, and eventually this will expand to fill in this. And then I've got this whole area of fungal mold, which I'm using as well. This is part of my advanced manufacturing, and eventually I will expand this, so what I need for advanced manufacturing will also come down to this side of the floor as well. So we're just going to be keep filling this in, and the idea is going to be to have the resources here, one for the living glass, which would be the, you could say, the cash cow that will make money, and then the advanced manufacturing will lay on top of that. And as part of my advanced manufacturing, what I've actually done is I've effectively pushed my colossal in now. So my advanced manufacturing is going to work on 2 levels. You've got to have the ships up on the freighter, which are going to be holding all the resources, but down here, this is where I'm going to be producing things like the acid circuit boards, and some of the sub-components of the advanced manufacturing is going to be done down here using the Colossus. So that's my thought train, guys. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to work, and I think what we're going to do now is just come out here, and I get so much of this frost crystals come up that I don't even actually harvest them that much. Just to show you, I think it's in this vault here. You can see here I've already got 20 glass, 6 living glass. The living glass here is my working reserve for when I need to manufacture something. So I think what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to go over to the portal. Right, here we are, guys. We're approaching the portal, and you can see it's active. I don't know if these will actually give me anything. Oh yeah, I mean, I haven't checked these for a little while, so again, these could be suspension fluid, well, and electron vapor. The electron vapor can go straight to the freighter. We'll sell off that. Well, actually, I need to got a lot of these power canisters as well. I think that can go to the ship, make a bit of space in my inventory. To say, I will sell this stuff off. And what I want to show you guys is, I can't remember, apologies to the person who passed this comment, the portal does remember the last location that you actually went through. So what we're going to do is just go through here. So here we are, we're through the portal, and as you can see, guys, what I've done is I've actually set up this as a little bit of a remote base. I've got my atmospheric miners for sulfurine here, and I can use up these power canisters. They're only in the way. Make sure. Yeah. And as you can see, I've built an extra couple here off camera, so I've got 3 now here producing 750 sulfurine. I've got loads of plutonium, so I can actually do this. And I'm just going to get here. It's annoying when it does that. And I've also deployed my rover out here, because I actually did a little bit of off-camera exploration as well, and there are some useful resources on this planet. So I think having the Roma actually here will be useful. When obviously I'm not going to go out and explore the planet now. So this planet's been set up the way I want it. As I say, I'm getting the resources from these atmospheric miners, and what we're going to do is go all the way back. Actually, before I do that, guys, let's just send this to the freighter, because that's where I'm manufacturing. Right, so here we are, guys. We're just on here, and what I'm going to do is we're just going to activate this, and I've just got to look up the what we call it, the portal address. So we're just going to activate the portal, and right, just got to read this. Right, hopefully this will. Got to look at my squiggle, hieroglyphic squiggling. Apologies, I'm going to do this quite slow, because bird, where's the bird? There's the bird. Got a couple of these bats, spider, and of these. So what we're going to do is go through, and as I say, on this planet I only want a second mining capability, so I'm just going to go through again. I'm just going to tab out, and I haven't actually done it. This is the first time I've actually visited this, I think, since I built this, because nitrogen is not similar to sulfurine and radium. I don't seem to need as much nitrogen in my manufacturing for some reason. So, but what I want to do is just put a second atmospheric miner out. I should have enough here, but I think I've got to make a couple of voltaic cells. Let me just have a quick look at. Yep, I've got to make 2 oh, it's actually let me build it. Okay, if you're going to let me do it the quick way, I'm not complaining. So this would be our second atmospheric miner here. We'll just drop. I think the plutonium, got plenty of plutonium. I can buy it as well. And this is the other planet that I've actually got going. So effectively, that now finishes my atmospheric mining configuration. As I say, I'm going to have 3 producing sulfurine. I've got 3, I think, producing radium, and then I'm just going to have 2 producing nitrogen. I think just to show you guys is, I think the nitrogen one is, the enriched carbon is actually uses radium, and can't remember now which is the other ones here. That's it, ammonium salts. I think I've acquired a really large number of ammonium salts, so at the moment I'm not actually using that anyway whatsoever. I mean, I could, I think I've got about 15 up on my my hauler up on the freighter at the moment, so I don't really, I think because it's also the ammonium salts seem to be one of the bigger rewards from doing missions. Anyway, so that is that setup. So we're just gonna Skype back through. So here we are, guys. We're back again, and I just want to check something actually, because so it hasn't actually consumed the thrusters. That's interesting. So the game can move my ship without using the thrusters, and what I'm going to do is just, I'm not going to use the ship because well, I don't really want to use the resources to it. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to walk back to my base, and I think that's going to be part of the process of winding the video up. So I'm just going to gather some carbon on the way back, because obviously I've been going through carbon and thallium. I've actually been using the tip you guys gave me about actually buying thallium from wandering traders, and I think putting the landing pad down has been really beneficial, because I've actually stood there and I've had lots and lots of visits from passing ships. Probably now I've said it, they probably won't come back again, and that has really helped me with the planting, because they have literally been, I've been buying 500 units of thallium and other resources, which has really kept my everything on track, is probably the polite way of saying it. But you can see I'm really happy with the actual base now. I think especially with all the glass, it seems to just float on the horizon there. I think it's pretty awesome actually. I quite like it. I think it's getting to probably one of the best bases I've ever built actually, and I'm actually really happy with it. Let's just grab the plutonium, and I think this kind of approach slope like this, I mean, towards it, I mean, it's a shame you can't lay down roads or pathways, because I think this actually just deserves an approach road really, rather than this just yucky type crevice thing here. Yeah, I mean, you can see here it just seems to this rise coming up to it gives the base a whole sense of grandeur. There we are guys, this is what I was saying. I'll just grab this guy. I'm not interested in his ship, but just to illustrate the point of what I was saying. Into a series of barks, but if you come here, and he probably won't sell me. There we are, so you can see get another 274. Might as well get the thallium. So this has been a very useful way to actually keep up with the resources. I think what we probably could do is sell some of the junk actually. Sell the Gek charm. Don't want to sell that because I'm going to need it. I think that's about it. No, but yeah, so this has been very useful, and just to show you what to finish off here, I've only got 2 out here. I thought I'd built the 3rd one, but it's not important because this is actually attached to my base. You can see here that well, looks like I've been a bit lapsadaisical there, so I can chuck the thallium in here. I actually visit these more often compared to the ones on the wrong side of the actual portal. I'm not sure why those both only had less radium, but it's not a big issue. And I think it's just going to drop into the base to wind up because my shielding is dropping. So right, so I think what we're going to do is just get into here. Oh, that could probably come back to my exosuit. Starship out of range. Okay. Well, I can go and sell that another time. I'm not going to waste your time, guys, doing that. This can go to the freighter along with the nitrogen. So that keeps my freighter going. I'll probably go up and actually do this. That I could probably sell because I don't actually do it. Quick look here, so you can see where I've gone through the famine where I was doing that planting. But of course we can just top the famine up again. And I mean, that's the nice thing. All I've got to do is hang around here for a little while. Oops. Put that so I can just top the famine back up again. I do need the what they call it. Forgotten what it is. Need to make another one of these heat capacitors so that I could. Well, I probably don't need them except for advanced manufacturing now. I'm not going to put out any more auto miners, and I'm rambling, guys. So guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Apologies for my kind of digressions into and talks about other games and all the hype, but I think it's, you've got to be living under a rock to actually miss what's going on at the moment. And I'm sure in the next couple of weeks there's going to be even more hype. What I will say is, if you've got any opinions and impressions on those new games from Bethesda and Paradox, or even old games produced by those studios, feel free to add a comment. I mean, do you play them? Do you enjoy playing them? And the new games, would you like to see them on the channel, assuming that they are playable and they're fun to play? That was always going to be the caveat for this channel. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode, hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.